guys, Toxic Judge here. Welcome to Pubg Mobile. In today's episode, we are going to discuss Carl Assault Rifle, which is typically a popular weapon online. So without wasting any time, let's just jump straight into the weapon stats. Carl is typically a high damage assault rifle, dealing 41 damage to a non-vest carrying user and 30.10 damage to a level 1 vest carrying user, which then drops to 25.80 to a police vest carrying user, and then lastly drop to 19.30 to a military vest. This means that it can kill between 3 to 5 shots depending on the range and the level of vest shot enemy. On the other hand, Scarl has very good headshot damage, dealing 101 damage to a non-helmet carrying user, which will drop off to 70.70 to level 1 helmet carrying user. Then it drops to 60.60 to a level 2 helmet carrying users, and lastly it drops to 45.40 to a level 3 helmet carrying user. Overall, headshots are very useful at all ranges. But while we are discussing about Scarl awesome damage and range, there is one thing that is very bad about Scarl. That is the rate of fire. It has low rate of fire with almost 600 RPM, which is slow for an assault rifle class but also slow in general. Aside from the rate of fire, there is another downside in Scarl, that is the recoil. I know the Scarl recoil seems to be low, but besides adjusting the recoil control, if we just spray the gun into the wall, it has very high recoil. First we start off with the regular Scarl. It fires upwards the most, but it does wobble side by side a little bit. If we put a grip on it, I found the grip helps a little bit in this particular weapon. After that we put compensator on the weapon and I found no change in the recoil. However, if you put both compensator and vertical grip on the weapon, the recoil reduced to a markable range. So I think these two attachments make it a much more accurate and much more better weapon to use in general. Even though the high damage and the range of the weapon, the time to kill of this weapon is moderate to low. Typically, time to kill is one of the factors that I look into the weapon to see if it is good or bad. In this weapon, the time to kill is remarkably moderate, which in my opinion makes it a good weapon, but even for some reasons I put this weapon into the level of one of the better weapons in the game. Now let's just jump into the other factors of the weapon. The iron sights of this weapon is bad. They're all trash. I do feel like they are very difficult to use even at the close to medium ranges. I prefer using a red dot sight in the close quarters combat. I prefer searching a red dot sight before jumping into the fights with enemies or enemy squads in classic mode. However, red dot sights are not easy to use at long ranges. You still need an optic of some kind. I prefer carrying any 3x scope or 4x scope for long ranges. On the other hand, the reload time of this weapon is pretty average. The reload time of this weapon is 2.38 seconds, which will drop off to 1.42 seconds if you are using a quick draw mag, which is pretty average for an assault rifle. The ADS time of this weapon is 0.25 seconds. ADS means aiming down sights, which means the amount of time your weapon takes to aim or to release the aim. The hip fire of this weapon is numerically average. There is nothing good or bad to say about it. It's just pretty normal. The normal magazine size of this weapon is 30, which will increase to 40 with extended mag. Extended mag isn't a bad attachment for this weapon, but I tend to prefer quick draw mag over extended mag. The weapon is best used at medium to close ranges. It is dangerous at close range, it is dangerous at medium range, but it is awful at long ranges. And I strongly prefer you should have a good long range weapon. Just pick up a sniper M24, Kar 98K, or maybe Mini 14 or SLR, or you can also use DP28 at long ranges, but definitely don't use Scarl. I'm gonna recommend two different class setup for the weapon. Each one is typically different. On the class 1, I prefer vertical grip, compensator, red dot and quick draw mag. The grip and compensator will help you to control the recoil, and red dot sight is good at close range to medium range, and the quick draw handle will help you to reload fast. On the second class, I prefer silencer, extended and laser sight. This will make you a ghost camper. It makes a good choice and better advantage at close quarters combat. The silencer will help you to hide your place more significantly. Laser sight will improve your hipfire accuracy, and the extended mag will help you have 10 more extra bullets in the barrel to fight with. I also prefer to have a long range scope like 4x or 6x or maybe 3x to have your options in the long range engagements. Thanks for watching. That's all for this episode.